What's up, YouTube family? I'm back at you like I'm mad at you. But I'm always glad when you're showing up, pulling up, popping out. Show that every time, you know that. Man, this video I want to put some clarity, family. I want to put some clarity on one of my last videos called The Easiest Way to Reclaim Your Abundance, right? And I just want to put some clarity on it because I feel like it's certain, you know what I'm saying, aspects of what I was talking about that might not be understood. I want to make sure it is, right? So if you didn't watch that video, go ahead and watch it. But what I pretty much spoke about was, you know, the when we were young, many times growing up, you know, we were robbed of our joy. We were robbed of our optimism, right? Because I talked about being like a child again and how that related to certain scriptures out the Bible when it meant to be like born again and being like a child again, in that, you know, we become innocent and excited about life again. That innocence, that excitement, that enjoyment, that optimism is many times have been robbed, and it have been stolen from us. We have been robbed of those things by way of just experiences, other people's perspectives, the perspectives that we adopted, things that we chose to believe and was told to believe. And I just want to make it clear real quick, family, like as far as reclaiming that abundance, what that has to do with joy. When I say that, you know, to be born again and become like a child is like to regain that joy and that optimism that was stolen from us. And that being children, they don't have no limits. They are also limitless. So when it comes to reclaiming your abundance and becoming like a child again, and how that pertains to a child, many times we have those limits that are put on us, that limits have been put on us, family. Limits have been put on us in our perspectives, in our minds, and in our belief system over time, because of, you know, living life as average or normal as, you know, others have been, right? Around others, we experience life, I want to say, with average perspectives, adopting average perspectives. And so we put limits on life. Children are limitless. This is the reason why, you know, they build their doll houses. The little girls and the little boys dress up like little ninjas, and you know, they get on their costumes, whatever it is they get into, and they don't think they just doing it for fun. They really believe they are that. You know, when you think about the different laws of, you know, universal laws pertaining to abundance, you know, many times even in the Bible, it also says to become, like to be that thing, to be the thing that you want, right? To be worthy of the thing that you want in life. These children, when I talk about becoming like a child and being limitless, these children don't have, you know, children didn't have limits, and they didn't just think they were doing a thing. They really believed they were these things. They really became the princess. The little girls really became the princess in the doll house, and that was her house. If you let her tell it, that was her little, you know, space. And the same thing with the little fellas. And so we have to also remove those boundaries and become limitless again, like children. You know what I'm saying? We also have to, not only, because the key word to joy, family, and in the other video, I said that joy and optimism are the seeds. They are the seeds of abundance to be planted. They are seeds that to be cultivated for abundance. And joy is the root word in the word enjoyment. So what I mean, when these kids are, when we look at how children so innocently, they just be enjoying themselves. They have no worries. They're not worried about bills. They haven't been heartbroken yet, nothing like that, or hopefully not at all. But they haven't been through none of those things to where their joy is limited, that their optimism is limited. They're just having so much fun, not only externally but within themselves, because they don't have no voids to be filled first until they can feel complete. They feel as fulfilled and complete as they can be at those young, innocent ages and stages, family. And they don't have the taint. They haven't been tainted with toxic relationships and all of that stuff yet. They have been tainted with limits. You see what I'm saying? These kids, they put on these costumes, and they play with their toys, and they really believe in these things. They believe in them so much when they'll ask you, can they go, they see a horse on TV and they see something, they ask you, can we go do that? You know what I mean? This is how limitless and how high their vibrations are, and we must become like those children again. And so when I spoke on in the video, reclaim the easiest way to reclaim your abundance, when I spoke on that joy, I wanted to put some clarity on how joy is, how I would say, how I could say that joy is the seed of abundance. Joy and optimism. The scriptures say the joy of the Lord is my strength. Optimism, because optimism, we all know that this is what it means to have an optimistic perspective, an optimistic view on things. Like, well, you always see the best outcome. You always expect the best. You look for the best. You expect the best in things. You're not looking at stuff saying, oh, no, this going to be like this, and all this going to be like that, and all people are like this, and most girls are like that, and most guys are like this. That's when optimism has turned into pessimism. And many of us have developed those traits. We have developed those perspectives over the years. We developed them, through our experiences, through others' opinions and adopted opinions and perspectives and views. You see what I'm saying? And I just wanted to put some clarity on that, family. Like, when you think about reclaiming your abundance, we have to go to the root of it. We have to go to the root of it, family. And if you can remember when you were a child, hopefully many of you can relate, because unfortunately there are some children that had to grow up grieved with a little bitterness on. Even some children even experience bitterness and those sort of things because of what they grew up around, the kind of environment and so forth that they grew up around. But hopefully many of you can remember your innocence when you were a young child, before you were exposed to things that maybe you shouldn't not have been exposed to. And you were excited about life. You were limitless. You didn't have a void that needed to be filled. Right? You thought that you can do, and you wanted to do all things. You didn't have perspectives, limits, and limited beliefs that, concluded life to a brick wall. Right? Or to a binding ceiling. You didn't have any ceilings on your desires. You see what I'm saying? If you can remember that, text it in the chat, man, because I know that is the most significant. That was the most significant space in our lives, family. They say the first 7 years of your life is the most important. Come to find out, they was the most significant and important and valuable years of our life. The first 7 years had a lot to do with what was planted in us, what was being cultivated during those years, and what would grow up. And what would you, did you hear me, family? They say the first 7 years of our lives, come to find out, was the most valuable years, period, in this lifetime. That in those years, what was being planted in those years and cultivated would grow up, family. Would grow up to be. Would grow up and have its, have its day in our lives, right? In our daily lives, in our livelihoods. But if we can remember those innocent years, right? When we just wanted to just do the simplest things, but at the same time we had the biggest dreams and we were limitless in what we wanted to do and we said we would do one day. That joy, family, is the seed, is the root of your abundance. And those things have the enemy say, this the Bible said the enemy come to steal, kill, and destroy. The enemy had come to steal that joy, that optimism, keep us pessimistic. Man, it's messed up. Man, it's like, kind of like keep us, because that joy is, and that joy is something that, again, is the root word of enjoy or enjoyment. So when that's what you say, enjoyment, meaning meant, right? For joy to be within you, it was meant for you to enjoy, meaning like these children are already, we were at that innocent space. And a lot of these still children are at a place where they are already enjoying life, family. They are already enjoying life. They just innocent children. They don't have no bills that they waiting to pay off first, and no debt that they waiting to get rid of, or no voids that they waiting to fill, or no exits that they need to replace first, or they don't need. It's not a certain house or a certain amount of money they need first. They are already enjoying life right now, family. Is my point. And so what did they tell you? And when you look at things as far as, transmuting energy and, just the difference with laws of attraction and all of those things, what do they tell you? You have to already be it. You have to already be, they tell you to already live in the being, in the state of being of already having the things that you want. Live in the state of being, already being the person, the man or woman that you seek, intend to become. They tell you they teach, it is taught to already be that. Walk like it, talk like it, think like it, feel like it. Feel like it. These children already feel like they are already in so the significance and the joy and the fact when those children they're already enjoying life. They already feel everything. They're at their highest when it comes to feeling it. So I just wanted to share that with y'all, fella, because I wanted to put some clarity on that video, what it means for joy to be the seed of abundance. So now if you want to get down to the root of it, family, I'm just telling you, like, it's many different things you can do. You done heard about making you a collage and putting up pictures and writing out your vision. But I'm telling you, if you want to get to the root of it, you got to get back to one thing, one thing, joy. Then I'm gonna add optimism in there. You got to get back to joy and optimism, where you're already enjoying life as if you already have everything you want and desire. And optimism for every situation and every goal and every challenge that you face. Optimism, right? To keep you on that high frequency, to keep you expecting the best. Pessimism is expecting the worst. Optimism is expecting the best. So if you got joy, If your joy is restored, well, you already are. You already, enjoying life as you are. You already enjoying life as if you already have everything on your goal, on your wish list, right? And then you got optimism to get you through anything. That right there will put you back in a place of abundance. Because remember, it is a state of being. It is a state of being, family. So this is the reason why joy and optimism, is so significant. Because somebody that's got $1 million, you got to understand, it is certain things about life that do change your frequency altogether. You know what I mean? When you happy, like when things are going the way you want them to go, and you have, things the way you wanted to have things, and you can be on a whole totally different frequency about life. You know what I mean? Like things happen and you just like, oh, don't worry about it. Oh, we'll figure it out. Why? Because you're in a high frequency. You optimistic. You just kind of like in a positive space. Oh, don't worry about it. It's all good. When you pessimistic and you in a negative place, things happen and it just turn you into a grunt. You start grunting, You know what I'm saying, family? So that's a little clarity on that video, man. Because the key to that, becoming like a child again, and becoming like being born again and becoming like a child again, to reclaim that abundance, is to pretty much cultivate the seeds that were planted. And that is joy and optimism, family. I guarantee you, like you at that place, like you in that place, if you in that space, because again, it's not the particular goal that you have that makes it. It's your frequency. It's the energy that you put on that goal. It's like the energy that you put on the food that you cook. They say put love in your cooking, but you can also put some negative energy in your food. Somebody can also cook for you and put negative energy in the food. You see what I'm saying? That might not be good for you to consume. In that same way, your goals, right, are propelled by that positive, optimistic, joyful flow. You know what I mean? So I think, like, as far as really reclaiming, I'm sure that reclaiming your abundance. And I'm gonna tell you how I know this real quick, family, so I can let y'all go, right? Tell you how I know this real quick. Quick testimony about me, right? So here I'm a guy that has been behind bars before. Okay, cat is out the bag. I done been behind bars before. I'm not proud of it, but I have been, right? And it was a nice enough time to where when I got out, I was just so happy to be out, right? And I was young. I'm very much younger, rather. That people that had been out here, right, on the other side of the fence, struggling, just dealing with things. Not everybody's struggling, but people just dealing with everyday life, dealing with bills, problems, heartaches, relationships, those things that, again, that produce those pessimistic and negative perspectives and views on life. They out here having those experiences, ups and downs and all that. And although it wasn't no walk in a park every day in that cell, I was able to focus so much on what I wanted to do when I got out, and just, keep my eye on the prize, which was getting back out here. That when I did, family, it was like being a child again. Because you got to think, somebody that's been in a cell, they just want to be able to walk across the grass. Like, go to the store, like things that you might do on a regular basis, family. The little things that you might take for granted. They just want to be able to walk to the park, walk their kids to the park, go to the, ice cream parlor, get an ice cream cone. Little simple things that maybe don't do nothing for you no more. But you can, but when you've been taken away, you know how they say you don't know what you got until it's gone. When you've been taken away from this, you come back to it like a kid sometimes. You just want to put on your own clean clothes. You see what I'm saying? You just want to do the simplest things, drive your own vehicle, or drive your vehicle at all. You want to be able to cook your own food on the stove. You want to be able to do things, the simplest things, like a child. But not necessarily being childish, but like a child, you want to be, you feel excited. Is what I'm saying. You feel that excitement again. You feel that joy, and that you have that you very optimistic again. Because whatever life was before you left, when you come back, it's just a positive flow. Many times, it's different stories, different strokes for different folks for different reasons. But for the most part, anybody that have been in that situation know when you come back on the other side of that fence, you're so thankful to be here. You're so grateful, right? Because those are also the seeds, right? To be cultivated. Gratefulness, thankfulness. Those are all the seeds of abundance, family. Joy, optimism, gratefulness. Remember? Gratitude. Remember that? You feel all those things, and you don't just think of. It's not something you gotta kind of like, something you gotta practice and try to trick you. No, you actually be easily thankful. I mean, you be naturally. I meant to say you be naturally grateful, and you feel it. You be thankful, and so all I'm saying is, family. Via that experience, I know what it's like to come out here, to be out here on the highest frequency. Like I was able to see frequencies change. Although, because I was so young before I got in that trouble back then, I didn't quite know the difference before I went in, because I was young and happy to be outside before I went, before I got in the cell. But I didn't realize till I went in there and came back out how much more grateful and joyful, and I didn't realize those qualities and how the difference. Meaning, before I went in, it was like I was just who I was by default. I wasn't, thinking about necessarily being joyful, or being like, I was just being me. I was a teenager. But when I got back out, I was able to appreciate those things, is what I'm trying to say. That's my point. When I got back out, as I had matured over that time, I was able to appreciate those things, family. And that's what you want to do, literally. You want to appreciate gratitude, meaning to increase in value. You want to increase it. I was able to appreciate those things. I was able to acknowledge the simplest things. I was able to acknowledge that frequency. I was able to acknowledge that feeling of gratefulness and thankfulness, and in a different way. So this is, I think, where my journey all started, family, because that's where I read the book Rhonda Barnes. It was called The Secret. John McCormack, The Magic in Thinking Big. I was. These books just nothing just happens by coincidence, family. I'm telling y'all, because I remember how these books just landed in my hands. They just landed. Like I didn't quite necessarily know these books like that. I didn't know of these books like that, but they were brought to my attention. Like they just landed on me. Like I just remember those books coming to me, and I being intrigued, and I remember reading them, and that's why I believe my journey really began to start and really started when it comes to understanding energies and quantum physics and alchemy and all of those things, family. That was years ago. So, man, I hope, you know what I'm saying, y'all having a good night thus far, or a good day wherever you are. I know, I'm just out here moving around, but I hope you hear me, man. The roots. Trust me when I'm telling you, because it don't make no sense. I done it before, family. I done spent thousands and thousands and tried to invest thousands of dollars, but my frequency wasn't right. My vibration with my mind wasn't right. My focus wasn't right. And if your focus and your frequency and your vibration and right, if your state of being, family, that's what we talking about. Remember, abundance is a state of being. If your state of being ain't on point, I'm not saying nothing ain't gonna work for you, but I'm telling you, you're gonna go through some changes until you figure that part out. Trust me, I done ran through bags, because I didn't realize that my state of being wasn't I wasn't in the right state of being. So, and I mean, attempting to, make investments and so forth. So, when you talk about the law of abundance and all of those things, law of attraction, vibration, all of those things that you're going to come around to. You want to get your state of being. This is very important. You want to make sure you get your state of being in order, because abundance is a state of being. And you want to get that in order so that when you strike again, when you execute again, it's a home run. It's going to be a home run. So that when you swing again, it's going to be a home run, family. I'm telling you. So when you swing again, it's going to be a home run. So if you win the lottery, you get a big check, whatever it is, you stack your bread up and you ready to bust a move again. Just get you, make sure you, in the same tone, in the same token, you get your state of being in order. Get your state of being in order. Next time you swing, you're going to hit a home run. I get it. I got it now, family. But I wish it would have been good to know that years ago, thousands and thousands of dollars ago. So I'm here to share that with y'all, man. I'm telling you, joy and optimism sometimes have been stolen from us, right? At a young age, growing up, and that's why our birthright, that abundance had been stolen from us when our joy was stolen, when our optimism was stolen. Yep. So I ain't gonna hold y'all too long, man, but that's the key to that, man, because you have to, because another thing real quick, when you'll learn when you're trying to manifest, that's what we was talking about. When you're trying to manifest something, right? When you try to manifest a lifestyle or manifest a thing, you also have to have a level of detachment. You have to detach from it. You can't be overly attached to something to where it becomes too important. The level of importance can't be too important to where you're not enjoying life, or you're not happy or satisfied or in gratitude, or you're not in a state of being. It robs you of the state of being already abundant, because you are dependent upon that thing to happen first. So this is the reason why I'm telling y'all about a child becoming like a child again, a child having joy, meaning they're already enjoying life. They're not waiting on anything else to happen first. You know, they're already glad, because that has a lot to do with being detached from anything. Children are not attached to needing, again, bills to be paid, or they don't need, you know, they don't need to feel a void in their hearts and all of that. They be already excited about life. They be already thankful. They be already jumping for joy. They be jumping for joy. Because and that's a part of not being attached to things. So we get older, we be wanting certain things to go. We be kind of wanting certain things to play out before we really feel like we can be at our best. Children don't have all of that. Children don't feel like that. They be just glad to be able to jump for joy with each other. You know? Unless, unfortunately, again, they've been robbed of their perspectives already and their views. The innocent children, I'm looking at some kids right now, they be so excited. I don't know if you can see that little kid over there. They be so excited. They be so excited. So that's what we have to do, family. And we'll reclaim that abundance simultaneously. To the next video, peace, positivity, optimism, power, and abundance. Water.